Welcome to Catalysta Centrale.
Hello! Willkommen to Catalysta Centrale, our cozy clubhouse where we introduce you to each cycle of Catalysta podcasts. 6 shows that revolve around one elegant question. What the hell can we do? But what the hell to do about what? You'll find out as we journey through Centrale's 5 spaces. The café, the classroom, the temple, the snug, our comfy spot, and the gardens. My name is Munch, Schmutz Munch, and it is my inaugural privilege to introduce the 4-legged founders of Catalysta, a pair of sisters who adore to explore what the hell to do. Chickie Munch, that doggy in the window who isn't for sale, and Binnie Munch, a delectable furball who will burrow her way into your heart. Take it away, girls.
Well, hello there. My name is Chickie Munch.
And my name is Binnie Munch. Binnie for short. Bin, way short.
We are the co-founders of Catalysta.
Welcome to the Centrale Cafe. 1 sweet potato latte, barista.
A fine selection, Bibi Munch. And for you, Chickie?
It's a special day. Go crazy.
How about a root beer float?
Mit bubbles or without?
Mitt, please.
Coming right up.
Should we do a little introing while we wait for our beverages?
Oh, yes. The Catalysta Centrale podcast is a companion to our live Centrale that we hope you'll come visit one day soon.
But don't rush us. We're working on it.
For now, the Centrale podcast will offer you a peek at the current cycle of 6 programs.
And Centrale's 5 spaces. Schmutz, what are the 5 spaces?
Well, we have the gardens, the classrooms, the temple, the snug, and the café.
And is all powered by the Munch Deck, engineered by my sister, Binnie Munch. Binnie, tell us about the Munch Deck.
The Munch Deck is a mashup of the Star Trek holodeck with Doctor Who's TARDIS. It can create any environment, populate it, and do a bit of time travel in a pinch.
You only steal from the best.
So true.
And our portal?
It's like Rick's portal gun minus the multi-universe mode. Working on that.
Order up, ladies. 1 sweet potato latte for the sweet potato and 1 root beer float mit bubbles and kisses for our head honcho.
Thanks, Schmutzy.
Yummy. Thanks, Schmutz. Everybody, this is my cousin, Schmutz Munch.
We've already met. Hello again.
It's so nice to see people in the cafe.
Our first all-hands meeting.
Is there room at the bar?
Henry!
Hey, Henry.
Welcome to the Centrale Cafe. This is the host of 2 Minutes to Midnight, an extravaganza, Henry Coleman.
I finally get to see you both in the flesh and the fur.
How was your portal entry?
Well, there was a bit of a drop at the end, but that mattress was there to soften the fall.
I told you the doggy beds were a good idea.
Right as rain. Henry, give me the deets on your trip, step by step.
Well, I clicked on the link you sent, and this crazy colorful sphere just appeared in my room. So I walked into it, and then I just got whooshed up and dropped into a doggy bed.
It's that last darn meter.
Oh, seriously, what's a little drop when we're talking about actual real-life teleportation?
I should get back to work.
No, you're here to mingle, and mingle we shall do.
What the? Gerald, don't sneak up on me like that.
Thanks, Gerald. The guests are here.
Henry, this is Gerald Gerbil. Gerald, Henry Coleman.
How are you, Gerald?
All right, Gerald. Haven't you got things to do? Such a flirt.
I'll see whether the guests would like a little something before we begin.
Thanks, Schmutz. In the meantime, why don't we tell everyone a bit about 2 Minutes to Midnight and Extravaganza?
Sure. Well, the basic idea of 2M2M is to explore how the world works through the insights of visionary minds. And the visionary minds for Season 1 are Robert McChesney and John Nichols. We'll be exploring their book, People Get Ready, the fight against a jobless economy and a citizenless democracy. People Get Ready connects the dots between accelerating computing power, capitalism, and democracy. We'll be talking with guests who explore and expand on what's in the book from beginning to end.
And then there's the Extravaganza.
Exactly. That's where we invite creatives of all kinds to listen to the podcast and check out People Get Ready.
Feel what inspires, create, and share it on the Catalysta website.
And at the end of the season, we're looking forward to the first worldwide extravaganza when artists can present their work live wherever they live. But more on that soon.
Everybody, we're ready. Well, in any case, I'm ready. People get ready.
Looks like it's showtime.
Break a leg, Henry.
Thanks.
Look, there's a few seats over here.
Great.
Welcome, Catalystas. My name is Schmutz Munch. No. I'm pleased and humbled. Humbled and pleased. Wait. Let's go with pleased and humbled to welcome you to the Centrale Café. What a wonderful crowd we have with us. So many of Catalysta's volunteers, producers, sound designers, audio editors, marketers, writers, and, of course, our listeners. And the host of 2 Minutes to Midnight and Extravaganza, Henry Coleman.
Thanks, Schmutz. Hi everybody, thanks for joining us. We're really happy to have a couple of very special guests for this conversation, inspired by episodes 1 and 2 of 2 Minutes to Midnight and Extravaganza. Our first guest is Sharona Pearl. Sharona is an Associate Professor of Medical Ethics and History in the Department of Health Administration and the History Department at Drexel University, and she's affiliated faculty at the Center for Science, Technology and Society. A historian and theorist of the face and body, Sharona's most recent book, Do I Know You? From Face Blindness to Super Recognition, came out with Johns Hopkins University Press. It's the third in her Face trilogy. Welcome, Sharona. Our second guest is Joan Pedro Carañana. Joan is Associate Professor of Journalism at the Complutense University of Madrid. Joan has been active in a variety of social movements and is interested in the role of media, education, and culture in the transformation of societies. Welcome, Joan. So what we'd like to do is to play you a few short clips from episodes 1 and 2 of 2 Minutes to Midnight and Extravaganza and let you off your thoughts. We'll begin with a clip from one of the authors of People Get Ready, John Nichols. Take it away, John.
We were very conscious of the fact that there are conversations going on at Davos and at Aspen, wherever very wealthy, very powerful people meet to discuss what the future would look like, that the great mass of people weren't being invited into, that in fact, they were being pretty much shunted aside from. And so we wanted to have a message that alerted folks. And we thought People Get Ready was a great way to come at it, in part because that's exactly what we want to tell folks. They need to get ready for these changes. Wealthy and powerful people are already not just ready, but they're implementing. They're making it work for them. But what's coming isn't being made to work for the great mass of people. On the other hand, if people get on board, if they become a part of this and frankly, assert their right as human beings to shape the future, then it doesn't have to be getting ready for something that's necessarily bad. It could be getting ready for something that's actually very good. It's just that they have to define what it is, not those very wealthy and powerful people at Davos and Aspen.
Sharona, what do you think about what John had to say?
I can't disagree with the message, and I have no intention of disagreeing. What we have here is a pretty accessible but also sophisticated analysis of the way power works. And people in power have a huge amount of privilege, and that inheres in so many different kinds of domains. With the coming potentially cataclysmic shifts environmentally and otherwise, the people with privilege will have access even more than they already have to the basic necessities of life. The argument here is that not only ought we to include people who aren't participating in these high-level conversations in the vision for the future, but actually empower them to participate in the change. I agree with that 100%. I don't know what the mechanism for that might be, but I will say that books are wonderful, narratives are wonderful. Even more important is strengthening the institutions that increase access already. We are in a crisis right now of news, with local news shutting down at unprecedented rates. We need to significantly strengthen our local libraries, which are a key site of access. If we want to invite people in and allow them to participate in shaping the future, we also have to give tools to access that conversation. So I think that the call here is for a two-way street of communication, and the first step is actually letting people know that they're a part of it. I think that we have to take a step back and say, well, how do we give people the tools to even understand and participate in that future-looking conversation? But I agree 100%.
Beautiful. Thank you, Sharona. And Joanne, what are your thoughts on what John had to say?
I agree with both John and Sharona, what she just said. I think we can speak about class struggle. Let's remember what Warren Buffett said. He said, of course, there's a class war, and it's my class who is winning. Yeah. And his class is the top 1% or even 0.1% at a global level. Yeah. So the point is how ordinary citizens organize to confront that privilege, that power structures, and undo the authoritarian institutions and structures that don't allow humanity to develop. And I think class struggle and other power struggles are, of course, related to war and to imperialism. First of all, capitalism is a system based on consumerism, on extractivism, on productivism, we say in Spanish, or high production. And all of that is detrimental to the environment, yeah? And of course, war and the Pentagon are one of the worst polluters in the planet. And that's something we also need to speak about. So this connection between class, war, the environment, and then also racism plays a key role, and sexism, or as we say in Spanish, machismo, which is I like very much this word. It's also central in any form of domination, both at the national level and at the international level. How do we organize to confront these huge challenges and interrelated challenges is something that we can discuss further, but I think we need some sort of alliance between the working class, and we've seen many struggles, for example, by workers in Amazon or workers with delivery services. We need to connect all that also with interculturalism or multiculturalism, with gender and anti-racist struggles, and connect all of that with movement for media reform. The mainstream media are not speaking about all these issues that we're discussing, at least not on these terms. And a movement for media democratization, I think, would be essential for everyone to be able to express their voices and therefore be able to demand other rights related to the environment, to peace, to equality in general.
Well, thank you. Let's continue the conversation by listening to Dan McQuillan from episode 2 of 2 Minutes to Midnight. Dan is a lecturer at Goldsmiths, University of London, and the author of Non-Fascist AI. Here's Dan.
So my first point really would be that the technology that we have, yes, it's definitely accelerating, but it is in fact a product of the system that we have, not only capitalism, but the general worldviews that we inhabit. This is what our technology sediments, what it materializes. So it's in no way separate from the other major forces in our societies, like very significantly and specifically capitalism. And the second thing is the idea that it can be definitely bad as much as it can be good, or vice versa. I'm not just saying, oh, all technology is just capitalist and therefore it's bad and we must throw it away and start from scratch. But what I am saying is that with AI specifically, it is so extremely weighted towards exploitative, repressive aspects, I would say more or less impossible to do anything very progressive with it. The actual specific technologies we have right now have been produced in, with, and for a certain way of life, a certain world. And if we want a different one, we have to take that into account.
I really like how Dan expresses how tech infrastructure is wholly enmeshed with the corporate economy and centralized power. Joanne, what do you reckon about what Dan said there?
I essentially agree. We need to use existing technologies because there's no other option so far that involves both mainstream media and the internet with all the possibilities it offers, but also with understanding the limitations, especially of social networks. We've seen, for example, a Human Rights Watch report about Meta saying that Instagram and Facebook have engaged in systematic censorship of voices in favor of Palestine in this case, but we can find many other examples. So we have to understand the limitations, but we still have to use them. And at the same time, as I was mentioning in my previous intervention, we need to think about public policies to make a broader structural and institutional reform so that technologies can be owned, managed, controlled by civil society, by citizens, by grassroots social organizations, etc., and improve in terms of access, of representation, of the diversity of the staff which works in the different media, both online and offline, to achieve a further plurality of content. And in the United States, McChesney, especially with Free Press, has done a fantastic job. We would like to do this also in Spain, but we're not ready yet. So we're starting slowly, for example, with this manifesto in favor of peace journalism, peace media that we will publish sometime soon. We will gather signatures in support, both by institutions, by the media, and individuals. And I think it's like a first step to try to provide like some guidelines for better reporting within the existing system, and also to start introducing into the agenda possibilities for democratization through regulation, through public policies, but essentially to give more power to journalists and to citizens.
Thanks so much, Joanne and Henry. I think that it's worth pausing and noting that this is not a self-evident statement. A lot of people might imagine that technology is neutral, that the question is not whether this is inherently good or bad, but how it gets applied. And I think the statement here is really important and really powerful, particularly coming from someone on the technology side to say, well, actually, the history, the culture, the context of its use is inextricable from the technology itself. And we have many examples of the ways in which technology has bias built into it, from trivial examples like soap dispensers that will not recognize people of color skin because it was designed to only recognize white skin, to more recent incursions on our privacy through face recognition technology and surveillance, which for a very, very long time had significant amounts of false positives with people of color, and in particular Black men and women who were being arrested because the technology said that they were the wanted person and it was a false positive. So the notion that technology is neutral absolutely needs to be undermined and discredited in precisely the way that this argues. So I agree with that 100%. We are not powerless, but we need to become empowered. And we need to think very carefully about who is making these decisions and to what end. You highlighted social media giants. Obviously, they have particular motivations that may or may not coalesce with the motivations of most people in the world, who are mostly not people with the vast amounts of money, power, privilege that those who are making decisions actually have. I want to emphasize a pause to interrupt the idea that technology is neutral, which may seem self-evident to us, but absolutely is something that I think is not entirely clear. And that even though the technology itself is not neutral, there are still people involved in that process.
I just wanted to provide another example, which I think we can also learn. We can learn from experiences all around the world, yeah? And I had the opportunity to work with the indigenous communities in Colombia. And it's a different conception about time, about stress. There's no stress. They face other problems. And depending on which areas, very often they've been attacked and killed. Yeah, for example, by the paramilitary, by the military, by guerrillas, etc. So very serious challenges, but still doing community media, essentially. I'm doing peace communication, which involves building community ties, making more solid relationships among the community and trying to reach also outwards. And in particular, I think this concept of good living, or summa causae in Quechua language, is really important. They want a good life, not necessarily a better life, because that's it's related to progress and growth and so on. We just want a good life. And I think that's wonderful, looking for harmony between individuals and society, and both of them with nature, yeah? And especially with regards to relations between human beings and nature as part of the same unity. I think we have a lot to learn from indigenous communities all around the world.
Well, thank you both so much for the big picture and the details. It's a beautiful way to kick off the series, and I'm very glad that both of you could be part of the conversation. How about one more round of applause for our guest?
They did great.
Really good.
We should get rolling.
Okay.
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing.
Muffin? What's up?
Well, you know. I mean,
Oh, now I get it.
you heard what Dan McQuillan said. I mean, is everything I'm developing, the portal, the Munch deck, is it all about capitalism? I mean, I work at Munch High Tech. It's not like I have a protector spell against capitalism.
Binnie, we're all in the capitalist soup together. But the thing is, your inspiration for the Munch deck and the portal came from our work on Catalysta, not Munchco. It's been your weekends and your spare time, and I think it's coming from your authentic self.
I guess so.
I have faith in your integrity, sis.
Thanks, Chickie. Gerald.
Hey, Chickie, Binnie, how are you guys doing?
Hey, who let you out of the studio, Project Manager Ed?
What's up?
Well, we just got an email. Gerald, I'm getting to the point.
Tell us what. Is there a problem with the Munch deck? Phew. Then it can't be that bad.
It's an email from the Holy Moly What a Life host.
Oh my goodness. I know where this is going.
Yeah, he backed out.
How many times has this happened?
Hey, I mean, no one's getting paid yet. So what are we gonna do? Better sooner than later, right?
Yeah, but we're about to test the Munch deck for Holy Moly What a Life. I mean, the man is probably waiting for us right now. He is waiting, right, Gerald? Yep. Good.
interesting notion.
Gerald,
That's a great idea, Gerald. What do you think, Project Manager Ed?
You already oversee podcast production, so what's a little hosting?
And I happen to know you're a Bucky Fuller fan.
well, you gotta love some Bucky, but host the show?
Let's go in, meet the guy, one step at a time.
Have you guys met Munchdeck Bucky?
Not yet. It's kind of exciting, right?
Gerald and I have done some hanging with the Buckminster.
Good thinking, Gerald. Let's do a test read. Give it a go, Project Manager Ed.
All right. Holy moly, what a life are the tales of those whose legacies ebb and flow through time, and with our collaboration, can enhance the lives of generations to come.
A natural.
You're in.
I'll get the door.
It began in the usual
Alice
way.
was beginning to get very
Call me
tired.
For a long time, I went to bed early.
Hey, Bucky. You have visitors.
Oh my gosh.
You've out-holodecked the holodeck, Binnie Bunny Munch.
Thanks, sis. I'll get the conversation rolling. Bucky, your life was so crazily rich. You designed cars, maps, bathrooms, geodesic domes. You are an architect, an inventor, a teacher, philosopher, a futurist, a mathematician. You worked on distributing resources to everyone on the planet. Tell us, how did it all begin?
A very fortunate thing happened in my life. Often I seem to be misfortune turns out to be fortune. I find that life is highly compensatory because I was very, very short-sighted when I was born. So very far-sighted that I can't, when my eyes from the glass off, I see absolute blur of faces. I could not see human eyes. I didn't see a human eye until I was 4 years of age, 4.5 years of age, and I had my glasses. I went to kindergarten and when I was 4, I got my glasses. And in the kindergarten, the teacher had some dried peas, semi-dried peas, and she had toothpicks. And she told us to make structures, to stick the end of the toothpick in the pea, and found it, they joined the toothpick so that it makes structure. All the other kids who could see, the minute they were told to make a structure, immediately tried to imitate houses, the first thing they thought of. So they were all rectilinear. Now what I did, because I couldn't see at all, I wanted to feel something that feels good so that a square, those forms didn't feel right, but when I got to triangle, it felt great. So I could really feel that as nice and stable. So now I've made literally a structure like that.
So you made a tetrahedron, or triangles, in the shape of a pyramid.
And I remember the teacher calling in other teachers from the other school there to come over and look at it, and they were all very surprised at why I made this strange thing. But it purely a consequence of my not being able to see, but I was not trying to imitate something. I really said make structure. I got to the cell right. You didn't understand that as somebody going miles feet and groping the way. It's a purely matter of feeling. And anybody working in play would just have that kind of feeling. Whether it's going to tip over now, it's cohering.
So, your intuition led to stability, which just happened to offer insight into how the universe works.
What's amazing is you weren't trained as a mathematician or an architect. I remember listening to a tape of you talking about Isaac Newton and how he was finding all these invisible, generalized patterns. Okay, I've got a question. Exactly what do you mean when you talk about invisible, generalized patterns of universe?
Isaac Newton had some very reliable patterns of the heavens to go by for a given time. So he chose a night where the moon would be full, easy to observe, and probably clear weather. And then he made an assumption that the Earth would suddenly stop pulling on the moon. In effect, he doesn't use the words that you would annihilate the Earth, or as this you have that weight and swing around and you let go of it, goes off this line. So he said, if the Earth suddenly stopped pulling on the moon, the moon would go off on a given line. So he calculated what that line would be on that night at that time. And he was able to pattern it against the heavens, a clearly patternable line. Now, what I'm coming to then is that there was nothing in the moon in its geometrical dimensions, there was nothing in its chemistry, there was nothing in its electromagnetics that anyway said it was going to attract the Earth. There was nothing the Earth had said the same. It was not until you saw the inner behavior being manifested in free space that you realized something was going on between. And so then comes to the word synergy. And the word synergy is the only word that means behavior all systems unpredicted by behavior and the parts considered only separately. The fact then that the great inner behaviors, in fact, all great generalized principles discovered by science are our relationships existing between that are not of the parts themselves. That's why these scientific discoveries are few and far apart, because you're always just finding relationships. And these relationships can only and always be expressed mathematically. They're pretty generalizable mathematically. So I find that in the universe is quite clearly these important generalized principles which have been discovered. And generalized principle of science is one which no exception has ever been found to the mathematics of the principle. Our brains are always dealing in these special cases. Each special case is inherently terminal, finite, syntropic, physical. Therefore, brain wants to have things begin and end. And brain would like to have a beginning and an end of the universe, a beginning and end of the world. But mind then discovers principles which must have no exception, which means that they're inherently eternal and not the kind of word the brain is familiar with. But it's implicit that they are eternal. They must have never any exception. So I say then, human mind is gradually discovering, if you're looking at a plurality of the generalized principles, a great a priori design of the universe. And that human mind has access to the rules and the design of the universe, little glimpse of it, because we can keep pulling the curtain aside, realizing there's a lot more that we don't know.
Bucky, I've always wanted to ask you, do you really believe that anybody can dedicate themselves to work they believe in instead of concentrating on earning a living?
This goes back to 1927 in my life when I was 30 years of age. And I'd had by good fortune really an acceleration in finding out a great deal about what doesn't work. And I felt that quite clearly all of my contemporaries had on highest priority in their lives that they had to earn a living. They hoped they might earn it in a way that'd be pleasant to them, but pleasant or not, you got to earn a living. That was very hard. I didn't hear anybody even think of contradicting it. It seemed to be so obvious. It just took it that way. And it began to occur to me what this is really nonsense, of what we all ought to be doing, is to say, what did my experience teach me needs to be attended to, and if not attended to, humanity will be in great trouble, and if attended to successfully, will bring great advantage to humanity. And what would I need to know more than I already know? What more do I need to know in order to be able to do something about it? And if I am going to do something about it, what is the nature of what I'm going to do about it? Am I just going to try to tell people it's there? Am I going to try to reform people? And I said, number one, here I am. Fact is, I am absolutely penniless. I have no credit. And I feel and see these things. How do you carry on? And I said, it could be that the little individual, a human being, really has a very great advantage over great corporations and great states. What can the individual do that this corporation can't do? Corporations are legal entities. They can't do what the human being. Number one, a corporation can't think. Only human beings can think. And I said, only a human being then could really operate on his own. He doesn't have to have anybody say yes or no. If he really thinks and sees that himself, he can act like that. And luckily he can. The time again, he can save the ship. But boy, he has to go fast and has to operate in a very enormous competence and principle. So the fact then that the human life on board of our planet, concept of man possibly having a very important, really a very essential function in the universe as local monitoring of problem solving. And in those terms, assuming that human beings are then necessary, needed, not here just to be pleased or displeased, not to do things just from the viewpoint of the ignorance of little man, but something to do with the great wisdom of the extraordinary integrity of the universe.
The extraordinary integrity of universe.
So cool.
I can't believe we're talking to Bucky Fuller either.
Points for the Munch deck. But we should get going.
You're right. Thanks very much, Bucky. We'll catch up soon, Project Manager. I mean, holy moly host Ed.
All right. Happy touring.
Well, let us say goodnight. And I feel a little bit soft here because what we're talking about is so untalkable.
See you later, Bucky.
Bye, Bucky.
Zip, zip.
Beloved, you start missing everybody.
God bless everyone.
So, how do you like the Buckminster?
Binnie, Bucky and the Munch Deck are 3 hops beyond.
Zip, zip, zip.
And one of those hops came from you, Gerald.
What you thinking?
What do you think about what Bucky said about earning a living?
What do you think about what Bucky said about earning a living?
I've been at Munchco since high school.
And every job you've done at Munchco, you've learned from.
Permission to whine.
Granted.
I want to work on Catalysta full time.
What did our Buddhist teacher Shogyal Damkai Norbu always say?
I know where you're going. We work with circumstances. Wise bunny.
It just gushes out of me. Gerald, we're heading to the Temple for the Beautiful Work Challenge. Did you upload parts 1 and 2 into the Munch Deck?
So, you've uploaded the essence and the situation. Have you seen what the Munch Deck has created?
This will be my first look. Yep.
Absolutely. We should share some background with the listeners. The Beautiful Work Challenge looks at a profession and asks, what is the essence? What's the current situation? And what needs to transform in that field? Our first 3-part theme is birth. Thanks, Gerald. Be careful about what?
Enter the temple.
What should we be careful about?
Zip, zip, zip. Great. Fiona's right on time. See you soon, G. Zip, zip.
You're not answering me, are you?
In we go.
Oh my goodness, Binnie! What have you and your Munch Deck created?
Chickie! Binnie!
Biona, how are you? You look so at home on the savannah.
Yeah, I didn't really understand the scope of this place.
Go big or go home, right?
I guess so.
I'm so glad you, Karine, and Sabrina are hosting the Beautiful Work Challenge.
Thank you.
Fiona, Karina, Sabrina. Try saying that 3 times fast.
It's my pleasure to be part of Catalysta. By the way, do you know what this is? It was near the doggy bed when I zapped in.
Oh, looks like a treasure hunt list.
That's what I thought. Are we doing a treasure hunt?
Seems like we are. The Essence of Birth Treasure Hunt.
So cool.
Okay, what's the list say?
It says we're supposed to find 1 sample for each of the following: preconception, conception, pregnancy, birth, and bonding.
That sounds quite essential.
Sounds a bit intimate as well?
He won't be too intrusive. Hopefully.
Let's tread gently. Do you hear that? Follow that buzz, treasure hunters.
Whoa, it's a swarm. And they're heading for that hive.
Let's keep up.
This is close enough for me.
Wait, listen.
Sounds like they're having some kind of meeting.
Compatriots, please come to order. Honeybees. Oh, I know this is an exciting day, but please contain yourselves. Please. Thank you. Now then, 10 to 20 of us will soon impregnate our queen. Gentlemen, before we proceed, let's take a moment to collect ourselves. Let's not just rush into this harem-scarum. Let us bow our antennae together and set our intentions.
Could this be a bit of preconception?
Could be.
May we, of this colony, benefit the birth of a new generation and enrich the swarms to come. Let us feel grateful for our bonds with one another, to our queen, and to the eternal buzz that nourishes us all. And with that, my fine fellow workers, let us make some larvae!
That was deeply moving. Preconception, check.
Checking now.
What's next?
The bees, then the birds. Who'd have thunk it?
From whence doth those dulcet tones emanate?
I think from yonder bird feeder.
Conception, here we come.
Let's keep a respectful distance.
Are you enjoying the seeds, my dear?
Yes, it's very good. Aren't you hungry? You've barely pecked your dinner.
Yes. Would you like a little more rotting berry, my winged goddess?
Are you trying to get me hoopsied?
Well, a little.
Want to know a secret?
Of course I do.
I want to make fledglings with you.
Really?
Yes.
Hatchlings of our own?
Yes, my love.
When?
Why don't you do that little hop you do this way and I'll show you when.
Suddenly I'm in the mood to do some preening.
Preen for me, Daddy.
Oh yeah, I'll show you some preening.
Oh, mister. Waiter, check please.
I think that's our cue.
And that's check number 2. Conception. Look, a pride of lions.
Should we get a bit closer?
Looks like 1, 2, 3 males.
And about a dozen lionesses.
I'm dying. Those babies are darling.
And they're coming this way.
Please, would you mind gawking in a different direction? My Leonora is with Cab.
Leopold, I can manage very well with a few stairs. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And a good afternoon
Good
to you.
afternoon.
We agreed we'd keep a tranquil air during your pregnancy.
We know very well what Leonora needs, Leopold.
Then why was she on guard duty last night?
Dear one, scaring off a few hyenas and a stray rhino is not a biggie.
Your anxiety is the most stress in her life at the moment.
Well, what can I tell you? I'm a worrier.
Come here, you big baby, and give me a cuddle.
Am I stressing you out, sweetums?
No, you're just my schnooky. Can we go find an antelope now?
Oh, my darling, would you prefer the tranquil sounds of rustling elephant grass and a bit of nesting?
Follow me.
Coming, Leopold?
Let's roll, cubbies and lions. Hasta la vista, gawkers.
This treasure hunt is finding itself.
And that ties a bow on pregnancy. That means we're up to...
Look, down by the river. Is she...
You know, hippos are known to give birth in water.
Now this is gonna be a real water birth.
Oops, we have company.
Hi there. Mind if we join you?
Oh, take a seat. That's my wife Gladys in the water. Isn't she a beaut? And this is her best friend, Irma.
You're just in time. She's just about ready to pop.
You know, this is the same spot on the river where we made them.
Oh, well that's sweet.
And there she blows.
I see the baby's head.
Oh, so cute.
That is one big baby.
That a girl, Gladys?
Well, that's it for now. I love you, Gladys. Kiss the little one for me.
Where's she going?
She's off to bond with her baby for a few weeks in the water.
Gives them some space to really connect. Nothing like some hippo bonding.
What a touching moment.
Birth and bonding, done and done.
A twofer.
Really nice to meet you, folks.
Congratulations, Papa.
Thank you.
And our treasure hunt is complete. What's happening?
Looks like the munch deck is transitioning.
Is the essence becoming the situation?
Hello? Is somebody there?
That sounds like Karine.
Over there.
A pitch black doorway.
Karine, we're over here.
Come to the light.
Stop messing, Binnie. Karine, can you hear us?
Now, this is some lovely scenery. Where I just was, not so much.
What's going on in there?
I have no idea. I arrived in total darkness, I stumbled around a bit, then I saw this doorway of light and heard you guys. That's all I know.
I'm sorry for your less than welcoming entrance.
I think I'll leave the situation to you three.
We're going back in there, aren't we?
The beautiful work challenge on birth. The situation awaits.
Thanks, Fiona. We'll report back.
Good luck. Meet you at the cafe later?
Save a seat for me.
This way, gang.
Be careful.
Be careful about what?
Where are you guys? I can't see my paw in front of my face.
I'm right beside you.
Look, there's some light. Follow me.
Is that a man crouched down over there? What's he doing?
Who's there?
My name is Chickie. This is Binnie and Kareen.
I am Dr. Joseph Boulevard Dilly.
The famous Dr. Dilly of Chicago.
What's up, Doc?
I am preparing my 1920 presentation for the American Gynecological Society. And this is my whirlwind.
A whirlwind, huh? Looks more like a wisp to me.
A wisp? Is that right, Bunny? This wisp, as you call it, is my life's work. Watch what happens when we remove birth from the dirty, unsophisticated hands of midwives and replace them with educated physicians in a sanitary hospital like mine.
But wasn't poverty a big contributor to unhygienic home settings in your day, Dr. Dilly?
Feel the current begin to move. A wisp, you say? I see a new industry of medicine. Obstetrics, science, and surgical procedures will improve upon nature. Stand back, Bunny. You say a wisp. I will decrease complications and mortality for women and neonates. How? A simple incision from the anus to the vagina to accommodate forceps. I present the episiotomy. I introduce drug-induced twilight sleep.
So you're looking to knock women out of the equation altogether. Is that right?
This wisp will be a whirlwind. Surgical discipline. Well-trained men. A new day dawns. I give my life to thee. Love it. Take me.
Wait, don't go into the whirlwind, Doc.
Whoa!
Oh my gosh. Lights out again.
Spotlight. On me, Mr. Media and Camera. Ah, my dears, welcome. You are my target audience.
Us?
Have you had your birth education?
I don't know what that means.
It's quite simple. Where did you learn about birth?
Why do I have a feeling you're gonna tell me?
Picture it. An interior, a hospital, the 1930s, maybe the 40s, 50s, early 60s. Cue music. A long shot. A corridor.
Hey!
A husband wheels his wife in a wheelchair.
Wait, I don't think I need to...
The husband is agitated, anxious. His wife is wildly pregnant.
Wildly pregnant.
She holds back tears, puts on a brave face.
She can probably walk.
Enter the doctor. Tall, gallant, graying at the temples, steely blue eyes. He takes her hand. She feels secure.
I don't know.
Her anxiety vanishes as he whisks her through a set of double doors.
Chickie! Binnie!
Right behind you.
Not to be seen again until she's laying calmly in bed as the baby is whisked away in a sterile bassinet.
Wait, where are they taking the baby?
I don't know why, but that away.
Congratulations.
And scene.
I'm getting up now.
On the whole, a bit prosaic, don't you think? Let's get up to date. something more contemporary. It's twilight. A vampire looks on. A placenta detaches.
There's no time, he's dying.
Get him out now!
Next up, the little indie cinema. Do you know what I mean?
Bert, when do I get the freaking spinal tap thing?
It's called a spinal block, and you can't have it yet, honey. The doctor said you're not dilated enough.
Come on.
And there's nothing like a medieval medical blockbuster with a house of dragons.
Please don't stay at this. Don't despair.
And cut! And now, may I draw your attention to the center ring and introduce the superstars of our show. Direct from countless office visits and TV commercials. You trust her, we love her. Let's say hello to Farmer Rep.
Hi.
And her partner in crisis? Yes, it's medical establishment.
Thank you very much.
Are they?
Two heads, one body, conjoined twins.
Are we ready to unveil, my love?
We are the humble servants of humanity.
When it comes to birth, the key word is
extraction. You lucky few are here to witness the debut of our latest campaign, Birth Extraction 101. Begin the procedure.
Yikes! The heck?
What is this place?
You are in the repository of Birth Incorporated.
We call it the womb.
A circular rotunda, tubes of glass sprawling in every direction, going up and up and up and up.
What are they? What do they do?
Where do they go?
Into his checking account.
Oh, don't you believe it? We have a shared account.
That's a lot of tubes.
There are a lot of women out there.
And we intend to extract from each and every one of them.
I admire your ambition.
Don't get me started, you magnificent monster. Dear girl, do you see that large valve on the wall marked cesarean normalization? Would you give that a twist for us?
Yeah, I don't think I wanna...
So delicate. Get out of our way.
Hey!
Some women don't understand progress. I love the sound of swoosh.
Whoa! Look at all the cash flying through.
We can make birth convenient.
And I can make my tea time at the club.
Next valve?
I hate to ask, but what's this one called?
Let me see. It says, leave birth to the experts.
Twist and shout.
When you think about it, doesn't birth disempower women?
Great minds think alike.
I named this next valve myself.
Empower women. I love it.
9 months of sacrifice, discomfort, disruption.
Comfort is what we offer.
You and I will take on their suffering.
We will take up the burden of birth as our own. I'm feeling a little odd.
I'm feeling a bit off myself.
Is that a crick in our necks?
Would you move your head a bit to the right?
Oh boy, what's happening?
Look out!
Gangway!
Whoa!
A third head.
Hi, guys.
Hey, chump. What's your name?
They call me Big Tech.
Welcome to the campaign. What do you think, Mr. Media?
Let me take a look. I think the camera's gonna love you.
Did I interrupt?
We were just saying we can clean up this whole messy birth affair.
Why should women be burdened by birth at all?
I love how you two think, and I'm just the guy to make it happen.
Open all the valves.
How about this one, marked Designer Baby?
Oh, let it rain.
I want to feel the currency against my flesh.
The tubes are opening.
Cover your eyes.
This sea of green is blinding me. I can barely hop.
Grab my paw, Binnie. Kareem?
I got you, Chickie.
There's the exit.
This is my kind of age, Alan.
this?
And that's on birth. The situation.
I think it's time to go have a drink with Fiona.
Gerald, we are so happy to see you. Your escort has arrived, Kareem.
Thanks for the adventure, girls.
More to come.
Count me in.
Ready to roll?
To the snug. See you soon, Kareen.
Bye. There's the door.
The host of Human Being, Kyle Kesterson.
Oh, wait.
Welcome.
Bienvenido.
Oh my goodness, the snug is so comfy.
I'm gonna settle by the fire while you two talk biz.
See you later, cutie.
Hi, Kyle.
Hey, Kyle. Welcome to the snug. Isn't it beautiful in here?
Wow, it really is. I love what you've done with the place.
Super cozy, right? So, Kyle, how are you?
I feel pretty good.
Thank you so much for being here, and we just want to welcome you. So, to start with, can we ask you, what's Human Being about?
Human Being. The show is about connecting people to themselves, to the worlds around them, to each other. You know, I feel like we live in a pretty disconnected world, and this is an opportunity to find our way back home together.
That's amazing. Can you tell us about your inner journey and also how that journey led you to hosting Human Being?
I grew up in a little town in Northern California. I became famous, known as the worst city in America, which is it's a great place to start a fantastic voyage. I grew up in this Holy Ghost, fire speaking in tongues, evangelical Christian environment that was a very energetic way in which to connect to the idea of spirituality. And I've always been a very curious person. And eventually my questions got what felt like a little too big for a church and helped me start to understand dogma. And when it felt like my curiosity was a bit too large, I continued exploring. So my inner journey was largely informed by an outer journey. And I've spent the last about decade of my life nomadic with no home base, learning how to find home within myself, even though my environments would literally change almost every other blink. And on that journey, coming across teachers and wisdom keepers and different traditions around the world that started to put my experience in the West into perspective, and really getting to feel and see the effects of what connection and disconnection really looks like. In my experience in the West, like, we're great at promoting individuality, but individuality comes at the cost of disconnection and isolation and loneliness, and people feeling like we're doing it alone and the weight of the world is on our shoulders individually. And then going to a lot of these communities that we in the West, again, would sort of determine as third world, and for them, not having a lot of the material comforts and luxuries, feeling more alive, more singing, more dancing, more around the tables intergenerationally. So my definitions of what success in life started to radically change, and I started to seek out where the wisdom is underneath that.
So, Kyle, there was something I wanted to ask you. Talking about personal development, spiritually, emotionally, socially, do you feel individual development can have a wider impact on the world?
This is the question. I believe that all of this idea of development is a form of remembering. And it's not something that we have to acquire or gain externally in order to unlock, but is something that we have to get back to that is already within us. And development is like a skillful way of being you. And when you look at it through the lens of, say, the Mayan cosmovision, which is where I spend a lot of my own time, this entire blueprint is made available of learning how to be in alignment and remembering who you are in the context of this cosmic web. And every thought, every word, every action is what creates reality, is what then ripples out that other people respond to, or it becomes something material. So absolutely, who we become, what we think, say, and do, is the world we create. We've grown up in this modern era that really is a construct on how our economy works and how governance works and how all of these systems work. All of this is a structure and an idea that has been formed in how we participate. That is incredibly confusing. I feel like it's like walking through a hall of funhouse mirrors of all of these distortions, and we're trying to see an accurate reflection of ourselves. Now, if you go to other traditions, other frameworks around who we are in the context of connection and each other, some people grow up with that clarity and that guidance from childhood, right? And so when we're given that kind of map, the ability to know ourselves is not this big existential search. So yes, I believe that we are incredibly powerful in our co-creation abilities to our reality, and our responsibility is to stay curious and stay humble and find ways to just come back home.
Curiosity is a really important thing for me as well. Talking about human being, what kind of guests are the listeners going to be hearing from?
We're going to invite people to the microphone who have come from traditions that we don't often get to learn from, that we would call wisdom keepers or healers or philosophers, people that have a unique perspective to how being human impacts their world, the quality of one's experience and one's own soul. Elders, teachers, scientists, people just working and pushing in the fields of consciousness in this modern era. Just true teachers that we can learn from.
So, can you tell us about the first guest that we're going to be hearing from?
I'm very delighted that our first guest gets to be this man, Charles Michel, who is a French Colombian at the intersection of food, psychology, environmentalism, activism, truly an artist. And when they all come together, some might say a wizard. But he has a very extensive background around food literacy. He truly believes that food literacy is what will change the world. He's written a dozen papers around multi-sensory science. He's becoming a figure in an emerging field called gastrophysics, having developed courses around conscious eating, food leadership, sensorial exploration, transformational experiences. He teaches all around the world, and he brings people together in a way that will change your relationship with everything you consume, because everything is food. Everything we digest is food. I've sat in on a couple-hour experience around tasting water. Like, what does that mean? This is something we do every day. And so to do something we do every day different, that's powerful. So I'm really excited to welcome in Charles. I think everyone's going to love the conversation.
I'm already excited. So here's a question that you are going to ask everybody. So I think it's only fair that we ask you too, right? What does being human mean to you, Kyle?
I believe that we are the eyes, the ears, the mind, the heart of the cosmos. I think that we each individually carry a unique circuitry that impacts an experience and has a specific mission that is a part of the collective, but we have a responsibility in how we harness and use energy. Ultimately, being human is being a vessel. It's a vessel for how energy moves, and that energy comes with intention, comes with a signature. You know, we are channeling imagination. We are channeling creative thought wanting to come into being, and through our ability in these meat suits, we have the ability to transform what is intangible into the tangible. And there's a responsibility to that. Every idea that we interact with, it's a relationship. We are in relationship. And I think being human is honoring and acknowledging the contract of being the one to bring imagination into being. And I think as we do that, it gives us an opportunity to zoom out and see that being human is also just one thread in a cosmic tapestry.
Kyle, thank you so much. I'm so excited to introduce you to everybody and to get started with human beings. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be part of the family.
Great chat, you two. We have one more appointment.
All set. See you soon, Kyle.
There's juice and snacks at the cafe.
It was so great to meet you both. Thank you so much for having me.
It's all coming together.
Okay, here's how I see it. Human being is the bookends, the individual and the cosmos. 2 minutes to midnight, the big systemic picture.
Lots of interaction.
Yeah, the beautiful word challenge. That's the work we do.
Holy moly.
People and ideas we don't want to forget about.
And here to there.
It's all about the predicaments facing humanity and the obstacles that stand in the way of solutions.
In we go.
Is this where you won the begonias, Pilar?
A little to your right.
Here?
A little more to your right.
Here?
A little to your left.
Here?
Perfect.
Okay.
So I listened to here to there, and it sounds great.
Aw, thanks, Pilar. I'm glad you like it. It's my first time hosting a podcast.
You're wonderful. And the way you guys are looking at issues that can't be ignored and what keeps solutions from happening, that's a great angle. And the first topic's right up my alley, biodiversity.
Yeah, it's good to get a gardener's take on the show and... well, I mean...
What do you mean?
You know, because...
Because I'm a pill bug, a slater, a potato bug, a butchie boy, a roly-poly, but I prefer armadillo-dee-day. You gotta love some Latin. So yeah, I'm camped out on the biodiversity front lines. You're getting the ground-side view from this crustacean.
And I appreciate that very much.
Hey, Mina!
Chickie, Binnie, welcome to the garden.
Pilar Pillbug!
Hola, muchachos.
So, you've met one of our top-notch gardeners.
I have. Pilar has been giving me feedback on here to there.
She's a natural.
Aw, thank you. You're so sweet.
Hey, Mina, did you know Pilar can do this?
Not cool, Binnie.
Not cool, Binnie.
I love when she rolls up. It's so cute.
They can't resist the roll.
Sorry, Pilar.
Is the show set?
Almost. We just have one interview left. Vandana Shiva.
What? You're interviewing Vandana Shiva? I'm her biggest fan, girl.
I know. Isn't it super exciting?
You didn't tell me you landed Vandana Shiva.
She just accepted our invitation.
Wait, how about this? Pilar, why don't you interview Vandana with me?
What? Are you kidding me?
No, I'd love to hear what you think about the questions.
That sounds perfectly perfect.
Oh my gosh, I would love to do that. I mean, in my antennae, she's the voice of Mother Earth. For gosh sakes, how did she put it? Wait, I've got a copy of Reclaiming the Commons in my knapsack.
Really? I didn't know they made books to fit someone your size.
They need to make me a mini ebook reader.
It's teeny tiny.
Got it. Listen to this. All evidence indicates that with business as usual, based on greed and corporate anthropocentrism, that means human-centric. The human species could be extinct within a century.
Well recited, Miss Doodlebug.
Is that another Vandana fan?
Actually, I'm more of a fan of anthropocentrism.
Wally, what a surprise! What are you doing here?
Yes, Wally. What are you doing here?
Oh, can't a koala check in on his goddaughter's work in progress?
Of course you can. Mina, Pilar, this is my godfather.
And our boss,
Wally Koala.
G'day, folks.
Nice to meet you.
Greetings.
But first, I apologise. I interrupted the Doodlebug.
Her name is Pilar, Wally.
Pilar. Good to meet you. Please, you were saying?
Here's another great one. Permit me to paraphrase. Anthropocentric capitalism became this universal system. It's built into everything we do, and it's not really questioned, even though it's just a system created by men in power and imposed on the commons.
The commons.
You know, what we all could and should share in common. The air, water, a livable planet.
Nothing comes free, my girl.
Wally.
Now here's the kicker. If this isn't fixed, we are heading down a road that's as devastating and destructive as our colonial past, which in my opinion has degraded our agriculture, our economics, education, politics, and even how we interact. Ta-da!
You do realise the kind of corporations this Doodlebug
Pilar
Hilar is bad-mouthing is just the sort of company that pays your salary. The kind of company your dad created from nothing but the collar round his neck.
Ironic, ain't it?
Oh, you're the Wally Koala, the chief financial officer at Munchco.
I have that honour.
That's nifty.
True or false, Chickie Munch? Has the corporate anthropocentric model put food in your bowl and clothes on your back?
You don't wear clothes.
The occasional rain slicker.
True that.
What's the bottom line here? How are you investing your time? What's the point of all this?
Well, Wally, it's a kind of communal think tank that we've boiled down to 4 questions. How does the world work? Where is healing needed? Why not work for the benefit of all beings? And what the hell can we do?
You say you want a revolution. Well, when has that ever worked? With or without bloodshed?
We don't know what's possible. But there are people investigating and reinventing every kind of profession. People with all sorts of insights. We want to be a part of that transition.
Transition to what?
Vandana sums it up neatly. We need to transition to ways we can all live together.
Yes! Catalysta is like a clubhouse where people can tap into great ideas, ask questions, collaborate, and wonder about how we can all live together.
All hands on deck, Skipper.
What can I say, Chickie? I wish you all the best, but I've got to tell you, it's going to be a slog. My guess is that people, young people, that's your market, right, aren't going to be interested. You know what they like? They like their phones. They love their phones. And sports, video games, sex, distraction. Not too many are thinking about how to change the world.
I guess. Maybe.
The bottom line here is taking a crack at making a place where people can open to new ideas. Maybe be of benefit. That's not such a bad use of our energy.
Is there a market for that, Wally? We have no idea how people will react to Catalysta. But why not take a shot?
Shoot away, my girl. I'll stop by Munch Studios and we can have lunch. And I must say, you have turned my head with your portal and munch deck, Ms. Binnie Bunny Munch. I'll set up a call for us to chat.
I made them outside company time, Wally.
Just a chat, Binnie. Good to see you all.
Wait, Wally.
Another passage from Vanadana?
No. I was thinking, would you like to take us out of today's show? How about if you read the credits?
Me? Really? Sure. I'll give it a go.
Yep. Thanks, Gerald. Here you go, Wally. Take it from the top.
Thank you for joining us for Catalysta Centrale. And thanks to our guests, Joan Pedro Curananya, Sharona Pearl, and Buckminster Fuller. We very much appreciate everyone who subscribes to Catalysta on Patreon, where contributors can access merch and bonus programs, including the Munchco Calling pilot video. Our collaborators make the show, and we're happy to include the talents of Anna Stolobras, Paulina Quadra, Marlon Dance Hui, Benjamin Mans Mardi, Alex Anglade, Stephanie Boyle, Alila Boadi, Terry Brown, Henry Coleman, Gabriella DeMarco, Charles Doherty, Stephen Dovis, Jeff Dumont, Stephen Etienne, Andrew Kevin Fawn, Ed Goldberg, Shmuel Goldstein, Shayna Howlett, Brianna Rochelle J, Mina Joshua, Peter Jones, Kyle Kesterson, Alexander Lester, Ashley Mickler, Karen Pagarian, Carol Hu, Corbeau Sandoval, Matthew Norman Smith, Ollie Stocks, Sarah Swerid, Andre Tarka, Arthur Timon, Gloria Tsar, Fiona Mwakawat, Sam Wachira, Sarah Zevasnuske, Steve Jung, and the estate of R. Buckminster Fuller. That's true, that's a lot of people. Catalysta Centrale was edited by Ian McGinn, Alvaro Ciudad, Viren Dakan, Sam McCormick, and Hong Yuan Pei. The mix is by Ian McGinn. Sound design is by Eddie Dobson, Stuart Ankers, Jay Blanchett, Michael Bruce Miller, Brian Holtz, and Josh Cash. Our composers are William Perry, Thomas Mangano, Twen, and Matthew A.C. Cohen. The Centrale theme comes from Nedtur and Mithan MK. The executive producers are Chickie Munch and Binnie Bunny Munch, with assistance from Ed Goldberg and Gerald Gerbil. You can find the current schedule of Catalysta podcasts and sign up for our weekly email at catalysta.net. If you enjoyed Catalysta Centrale, please add, comment, and like us on your favourite podcast platform. This is Wally Koala, signing off from the gardens at Catalysta Centrale. See you next time. Oh, how was that?
Not too shabby.
I'm impressed. Pleasantly surprised.
Excellent, Uncle Wally.
You know, I was in the debate society at uni.
Chip, chip, chip.
You too.
Chip, chip.
Thanks for being part of our first episode of Catalysta Centrale. We hope you'll tune in to our 5 other shows.
2 minutes to midnight, an extravaganza. Here to there, the beautiful work challenge, human being, and holy moly, what a life.
This is Chickie Munch.
And Binnie Bunny Munch.
Coming to you from the garden at Catalysta Centrale.
Chickie!
To be continued.
Later, theaters.